Happy Free Friday, y'all. Pre-weekend. We at it again. Almost the end of the month. We got one after today. We got one more day left in May. We gotta cut it. You know how I do. I just start talking. Y'all are watching. Whoever gonna watch the replay, watch the replay. Happy Free Friday, y'all. We here at it again. You know, another day. We alive. We alive enough we can do something. We got to make the changes we need to make on this day. It's not too late because we are breathing. We are alive. We have another day to make changes, to do the things that we need to do, guys. That's why we here. We alive. So y'all, my title is Cut It. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from an angle of, you know, toleration. A lot of times we are staying, when I say I'm talking about all of us, and you know what I'm saying, if it's not in a relationship, it can be business relationship, whatever. Like, look at it like business relationships. You can look at it like friendships. You can look at it like sometimes family relationships, jobs. Just look at the whole thing, okay? So a lot of times, guys, we know that we're in situations that's we can feel it not good. We know it ain't the best for us. We know that it's not it's stagnant. You know these things even when you in it, because you just every day you just upset. You up and down in your emotions. You wake up with agony. You just know, okay, things need to get better and got to get better. So you know these things. You have the physical signs of knowing that, okay, y'all, something ain't right. This ain't hitting. This ain't where it needs to be. But then in the back of your mind, you saying to yourself, okay, maybe if I do this, it'll get better. Maybe I'm just gonna give it some time. You know, maybe time heal all wounds. Whatever we'll say to ourselves to soothe it. You know what I'm saying? You got the physical evidence, like, okay, this relationship or this situation ain't going nowhere. It's toxic. You got the physical signs, but then you, in your mind, you trying to, like, you know, like, overturn it. You say, okay, maybe if I do this, it'll get better, or maybe I can adjust this situation. Maybe I'll change this. So basically, you staying in something, and day by day, it still ain't getting no better. You know, so in a situation like that, it takes two. If you are in a relationship, whatever it is that it involves another person or whatever, it takes two for something to work. Everybody got to be equally on the same page. Changes got to be made in order for things to work and get better. So cut it means, people will say they want to be happy, they want to thrive, they want to move forward, but they got to get past this, that, and third. So my thing is, what is the thing that's stopping you and keeping you from doing that? You know, so that's a question. If you in situations like that, you have to ask yourself, what is it that stops you and keeping you? What are you saying to yourself? Is you hoping to yourself that it's going to get better, or it's just a phase? A lot of time I hear people say it's just a phase. It'll blow over. You know, I've heard people say that, and I've said it too. Like, okay, I'm just gonna give it time. You know, this person might change their mind about me. It'll get better, or maybe they just going through something. Like, you just make excuses for the other person. You know, and that's a lot of people downfall, because you're not paying attention. You trying to turn the red flags into green flags. You're not paying attention. So that's the first, a lot of people downfalls in situations like that, in relationships like that. So you're just gonna have to, you know, in order to get better, or in order for things to even out, you're just gonna probably have to cut it. You know, sometimes separation is good for elevation. You know, separation sometimes from the situation, to stepping back a little bit, just seeing, you know, just seeing what got to be done. Because a lot of time, you might be the problem. You might have to, you know what I'm saying, like, take a look within yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might be the issue. So sometimes by stepping back and giving things some time can help the situation. Hey, bro, thanks for watching. You know, so a lot of times in that, you know what I'm saying, you can cut. Y'all, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So what I was saying, like, yeah, you're gonna have to sometime make the ultimate decision and cut. Like, a lot of times you can be the problem. You know what I'm saying? And then you might have to do what you have to do to better situation. It's multiple things. So cutting it, guys, is just what it is. Just plain not cutting it. I was y'all. Sometimes, you know, I be over there on, I ain't gonna lie, I be over there on the YouTubes, right? You know, a lot of time, you know, before I go to bed. So I was watching, y'all, the and which that's what I'm talking about this point too. I was watching the Remy Ma and the Papoose, y'all, they back and forth. I said that must be like the new thing now. So I was watching like his just hearing what he had to say about the relationship and things like that. So he was saying like how there were always signs, like he's saying that he's filing because of the cheating or whatever. He was saying like how it was like always signs and different things like that, and he would like catch her in the act, like with he saw things in her phone. He caught her in the act, like with another female at this time that actually stayed in the home, which he didn't name any names. So that I like at least he didn't name any names, but he was just saying like how in their home, how he have like, you know, they have now, but like I guess before he moved out the home, like they had like 2 beds in the room, like it wasn't like sleeping together, because I think at that point it was bad. So to sum it up, he was saying that he basically stayed in a relationship because of his daughter, because they got like, I don't know how old their daughter is, but he actually stayed under the roof. I guess he put up with it, tolerate with it, hoping that it would have gotten better or whatever. And because of his daughter, he said, because he promised, they made a promise that that he was going, I guess that they wanted to have like a 2-parent household regardless of how the relationship was. So he said he stayed because of that reason. And he was talking about like how when she was arrested, like how he exhausted a lot of his funds, like seeing her every day, trying to appeal a case. He said he was really like ride or die for her or whatever. And then like throughout the course of time or whatever, relationship was bad, but he said it was always like red flags in a relationship. So he was like, he didn't cut it, like I use the word cut it. He didn't cut it because the bigger thing was he was trying to be there for his daughter. He said a lot of times she wouldn't come home at night. The child would like cry out for her or whatever. So he was like a single parent even in the home. You know, back then, I think he would say this was like in 2022, something like that. So he was saying like you know, she used to hang out with some of the cast of was they on that show Love and Hip Hop New York. You know, he said different, you know, people like within their friendship circle and things like that. So he said what made him decide to cut it and leave, because he said he didn't want his daughter to see the unhappiness in him. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he was the one mainly around the child, like within the latter years or whatever. He said he had to make that hard decision, and and you know what I'm saying, and leaving because he didn't want his daughter to grow up and see that. He said he would rather go away from the home, separate. That's the thing, he's filing for divorce or whatever, and to see him happy on his feet versus that he didn't want his daughter, he didn't want to stay in the house. Harry Bonds family, thanks for watching. He didn't want to stay in the house and just to be there just because you want to be there. He wanted to provide a 2-parent household and knowing he's miserable. And you know, the marriages has fallen apart. He said that they went to counseling, and then she still was with the other guy. And then he was saying something, he think that it was a lot of blackmailing going on. Y'all know how that be like in the music industry. He said his ultimate thing was he had to think about his daughter. He said he dealt with the cheating. He said very disrespectful. He called a lady bipolar and stuff. He said he put up with all of that because of the daughter. But it comes a time when you get tired of being sick and tired. And I think he was at his breaking point as to why, you know, he did what he did. So that just brings me like back to what I was saying about cut it. A lot of times, you know, when you got to think about the longer you stay in stuff, sometimes, especially if the relationship is not good, it's bad, 9 times out of 10, it won't get any better. So you just have to just pay attention to the different signs and things like that. And that's in any relationship, whether it's friendship, whether it's, who we talking about? I'm talking about Papoose and Remy Ma. That thing they got going on. You know, they going back and forth, like she doing videos, he doing videos. So they kind of at war right now. But the thing that you can tell in his face, you know, I can see some valid points he was saying. That why he was staying and all that because of their daughters. That's basically what I was saying. But even in that, sometimes when the situation is bad, it's over with. You just got to know how just to cut it, you know, because by staying in it, it's gonna get worse sometimes, especially if the other person is not trying to change and not doing the work, because it takes two. So in something like that, if a person basically draining you, or you know, or it ain't getting no better, you fighting basically by yourself. So you by yourself in that. So that's why you got to know when to cut it. And with that being said, it is we got one more day, last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. May was Mental Health Awareness Month. That goes back to your mental state. The more you stay in toxic things that don't serve you any purpose, the worse it gets. It's going to affect your mental. You gonna start feeding into the next person. Y'all gonna start pulling from each other. So it's best if you see to where it's not getting any better. You tried. You did all the work and they're not doing anything. You have to just probably just reconsider it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that can just be in anything. You know what I'm saying? Now if you are in a marriage, it's going to be two people working things out together anyhow. I mean, that's just my opinion. But you know what I'm saying? Depends on the relationship. If you're getting abused or battered, or the person constantly cheating on you and it's not getting any better, I'm not going to condone staying in something like that. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be real. I don't condone it. You know, so that's what I was talking about. So it's Free Friday, y'all. You know, we literally about to be tap into like a new month. Like I think Sunday, June the 1st, we going in. We got to go in a new month hot. We got to go into, we got to just kind of, and which is, this is going to be like half the year, it's going to already be gone. We got 6 more months left in this year. So we need to really go in June, like with some, like boss up really. Going into June, you know, with things, you know, we want to see in life, things we want to do, changes we need to make, and all that good stuff. We got to go in hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I'm on my way to work. So y'all, so cut it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and especially if you seeing all the signs, you seeing this ain't working. I'm putting in my all, and this it ain't getting no better. You might have to separate the elevate. You know, before it pulls you in, before it gets worse, or before it becomes something. It can be harmful for the both of the people involved. So you got to do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Safety is important. Your mental health is important. If your mental and things is not working and jacked up, it affects everything. You know, we need our mind, we need our peace of mind, we need our brain, we need to be well, so we can make good decisions, we can be able to see things clearly, we can be able to make, you know, we can think on the spot, because some things you gotta start thinking things on the spot. Sometimes you don't have time to make a decision, you have to think on your feet. Depends on what it is, and especially if you dealing with like a crisis or whatever, you gotta know how to think quick and make best good decisions. And how you do that is having the right mind frame, having a good mental capacity to do that. And especially too, like if you work in careers and jobs that involves you thinking a lot, it involves you having to think on your feet, strategize and stuff like that, there you got to have a good mental. Your mind got to be on point and sharp. Especially like you a boss, you got case loads, you any type of career thing you do that considers that you have to use higher order thinking skills, you got to be on point. So taking care of your mental is very, very, very important. You know, so I'm about to head up. I appreciate you, Bonds family. I'm gonna have to go over to see, you know, what you're talking about. Thanks, bro, for watching. Everybody who's gonna watch the replay, thank you for watching. Guys, have a happy Free Friday, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Be blessed.